Welcome everybody. I'm your host Dee Dee Verg from miraclesofmind.tv, and today it's my very special guest who I'm very fortunate to interview is Ron Eslinger. So welcome to the program.
Glad to meet you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Not a problem. So what types of pain can hypnosis help with? Because I know this weekend you were sharing a lot of the different things you've used hypnosis, for example, phantom limb pain, back pain. Just share a little bit with our audience about what kinds of pains hypnosis can help with.
Well, I haven't found any that it can help with, because a lot of the research now shows that 85 to 90% of the underlying chronic pain, and even acute pain, but mostly chronic pain, is based on the stress response.
Okay.
So therefore, if you can work with stress, you can start alleviating that pain, changing it, changing where it's at. So I've worked with phantom limb pain. I've worked a lot with CRIPS, which is called complex regional pain syndrome. I've worked with that. I've worked with lots of back pains, lots of arthritic pains, knee pains, shoulder pains. Let's see, what else has been out there? Oh, tic douloureux, TMJ. Everybody that I've worked with these have all responded extremely positive, if not 100%. Phantom limb pain I got pretty good at because I was seeing so many of them. Mm-hmm. And I think I was telling you about the one today where a person with CRIPS used to be known as RSD, so regional sympathetic pain, I think is what he called. Anyway, now it's called CRIPS, complex regional pain syndrome. And one of the first phantom limb pains I worked with was an Army Ranger who was rappelling and crushed his ankle, and he got CRIPS. So to take the pain away, it was so excruciating, they actually cut his foot off. So they cut his foot off, he heals, but now he's got phantom limb pain. So worked with him, and only took 2 sessions, and the reason that they sent him to me was they had a new prototype prosthetic, yeah, thanks. I'm getting old out there, guys. Sometimes these words don't come to me. But so he had this new prosthetic that they wanted to try with him that people could run with, and he was a marathoner. So they sent him to me, and unbelievably or not, he did well. That prosthetic was the blade that the guy used that had the amputations in the Olympics. So it's pretty neat to be a part of that. I didn't know I was a part of that until I realized that this guy was running the Olympics with the blades. But phantom limb pain responds extremely well. CRIPS responds.
What is CRIPS?
Pretty well.
Just so the audience.
Complex regional pain syndrome.
Is that pain with no medical cause that they can find?
Well, it usually starts from something very simple. The first one I saw was, for some reason, after starting an IV, this young lady basically lost a lot of the use of her arms. She was in severe pain. It would almost be like somebody that's got gout, that even air flowing across it would make it hurt. She was one of the first ones I worked with, and she did actually, she got better too. Others had to do with, one had just sprung her ankle, and from that ankle sprain, it actually moved throughout her, basically her entire body.
The pain did.
The pain did. What happens is the nerves change, and a lot of the blood vessels now, instead of being open and the arteries letting the blood flow through, they constrict down. So the muscles and the tissues are not getting the nourishment they need of oxygen and the blood flow, and so therefore they become extremely sensitive to anything. Awesome. Now, back pains is the most common pain that's out there, and unfortunately people are told when they injure their back, take it easy for a couple of weeks and see what happens. The problem is that's probably the worst thing they can do, because those muscles then start contracting down, and if you start trying to protect those muscles, they contract even more. Years ago, when I first started nursing, in the hospital, if you didn't stay 5 days, then you wasn't sick. So they'd have to put boards on the foot of the beds because they'd get a thing called foot drop. The feet would drop, the muscles would contract, became very painful. So that they put a board to hold the feet back up. And so therefore, in this back pain, the same thing happens. If the muscles aren't doing, you know, this one will contract or this one will contract, and then the nerves coming out of the spine get constricted, and when the muscles contract, the blood flow quits going in, so no oxygen. It's almost like if you wanted to test it yourself. You know, you could do that all day, and it's not going to hurt you. But if you tightened up all the muscles and you're squeezing the oxygen out, it starts burning after about 3 of those. So back pain's pretty interesting. I had an interesting case. I had a friend of mine from high school actually called and say, hey, I've got an employee that works for me, and he can't work because he's got back pain. Can you see him? Well, his history was quite unusual because in high school he actually broke his back, and he was told he'd never be able to walk again, but he did. And so he went on for about 10 years, no problems. All of a sudden he hurt his back again, and as long as his back, and he got this fear that he's going to become paralyzed again, so he quit trying to use it, quit moving around, and so everything constricted down, and all he needed was in hypnosis to realize that what happened 10 years ago was not associated with what he had done now. So those memories from then didn't put him down and keep him down, because when he heard it originally, it was always, can you feel this, can you feel? As long as he could feel what was happening, then it was okay. But when he couldn't feel it, that meant he was really in trouble. So,
well, in his mind, he was
going
to paralysis. So.
Exactly.
Wow.